James Gunn's penultimate MCU project, the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas Special, has aired on Disney Plus and officially ended Phase 4. This phase began with WandaVision in 2021, bringing the dawn of this new era of interconnected series into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We learned the theme of the next block of storytelling, the Multiverse Saga. We even know where we'll end up when this chapter ends, 2 monster films, the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Now that Phase 4 has concluded, we can sit back and collect our thoughts about all of the content that pretty effectively kept us talking and entertained throughout the pandemic. There seems to be a recurring thought amongst much of the fandom. What the f*** just happened? What the f*** just happened? Are you even listening? There were 9 series, 7 films, and 2 special presentations over the past 2 years. We said hello to some new heroes and said our final goodbyes to others. But what was Phase 4 really about? In my opinion, Phase 4 was mostly about introductions, similar to Phase 1. In fact, I've had to train myself to think that WandaVision didn't start a new phase. This is an entire new saga, like the first chapter of the second book in a franchise. Things are still connected, but we are beginning anew. It seems like the MCU writers have decided they like to keep 3 or 4 balls in the air at all times in future projects. I mean, in phases 1 through 3, each film led to the same thing, Avengers Endgame. When Endgame was over, it seemed like we flailed around for a bit. It took a couple of projects to get past those events. And what we have seen in Phase 4 is several layers of storytelling. Most of it leads to Secret Wars, but some of it is setting us up for smaller crises, Secret Invasion, and Armor Wars. I also think the groundwork is being laid for the next huge ensemble event after the Multiverse Saga is in our rearview. The different elements we've seen in Phase 4 are street level, cosmic level, supernatural, and Rogers the Musical. Yeah, it's its own thing. Of course, the best example of street-level storytelling is Hawkeye. We met the future Hawkeye, Kate Bishop. We also got some Yelena, some Val, who may also tick the cosmic box, some Echo, the tracksuits, and the overpowered Kingpin. I also consider the Falcon and the Winter Soldier more street-level. We also got a new agency to keep our eyes on, the GRC. And Miss Marvel was very busy. She pulled triple duty, street level, supernatural, and cosmic. But on the street side, she dealt with the Department of Damage Control quite a bit. She-Hulk introduced the Superhuman Law Division, and she did battle with the Intelligentsia, who I am sure we haven't seen the last of. There's something else going on with She-Hulk besides the street level stuff. There's something to the fact that she can break the fourth wall. And I'm not sure if it's supernatural or cosmic, but it's something. So anywho, introducing these agencies and cartels make sure our human heroes stay busy while the androids, aliens, and wizards handle other threats. On the cosmic side of things, we met the Celestials, Eternals, and Deviants. The awakening and evolving of the Deviants is likely a direct result of all the snapping that went on during Infinity War and Endgame, and we'll probably learn that's what's been waking a dormant gene in some of mankind as well, but that's another story for another day. Erisham has promised judgment on humanity, so that's kind of a big deal. But Phase 4 has also introduced us to new cosmic relics. Now, these artifacts were likely seeded on Earth, and when conditions were just right, they call out to the cosmos to someone. We see the 10 rings, Miss Marvel's bangle, the ebony blade, the scarab of Amit. If I'm missing any, please let me know in the comments or send me an email at snapaftermoviestv@gmail.com. I'm just saying, there's no coincidence that these items have shown up when they have right now. It's almost like a test or something. Wink, wink. The only plot as thick as the multiverse has been the supernatural. Turns out there are a lot of gods out there, like a lot. At first, I was of the opinion that the gods in the MCU were simply species with greater technology, but nah, it appears there are real live gods out there. So that's some supernatural shit. And does that mean there are also demons? Mephisto? But maybe not, but definitely demons. I'm not kidding. In She-Hulk,
Madison with 2 N's and 1 Y, but not what you think.
Met a demon named Jake after being sent to another dimension by a magician named Donnie Blaze. And the Djinn, once again, Ms. Marvel, adding to the ongoing story, turns out she's a Djinn. Now, unlike demons, the Djinn aren't necessarily evil, but they have been compared to demons by Western cultures. So many layers of supernatural, but demons are confirmed to exist at least in other dimensions. And we've also got confirmation of vampires, werewolves, man-things, witches, wizards, dragons, and so many more paranormal creatures. We may not dig deep in the lore over the next 2 phases, but we are expecting Blade. So if we keep getting hints and reminders, we might see a huge supernatural payoff in Phase 6. And along with supernatural beings, we also learned of some fantastical realms or pocket dimensions. We saw the Noor dimension, home of the clandestines, in Ms. Marvel. In Shang-Chi, we learned of his mystical origins in Ta Lo, a village in another dimension. Thor Love and Thunder took us to Omnipotent City. Fun times, but that was a cosmic adventure, but it also seems to be a supernatural city. There was the Hercules scene, so yay. More guys, yay. Y'all get what I'm saying. There will have to be a payoff to meeting all these deities in Ish. They didn't just throw them in there for the hell of it. I told y'all, Rogers the Musical is its own thing, but it also represents the multiverse. Rogers the Musical showed up in 4 projects in Phase 4. Hawkeye, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and She-Hulk. The only film that mentions universe designations was Multiverse of Madness. We learned that this version of Stephen Strange was from Earth 616. Now, because Rogers the Musical exists in his universe, I theorize that the other 3 projects are part of Earth 616 as well. That's Hawkeye, Spider-Man No Way Home, and She-Hulk. Further, Doctor Strange mentioned the events of Westview while speaking to Wanda in her fake-ass orchard. So that series may also have been based in Earth 616. Loki is in his own pocket dimension of the TVA. He could have actually been part of the realms in the supernatural. But anywho, there are only 3 more Phase 4 entries that I think are part of Earth 616. That's Black Widow, Wakanda Forever, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Why? Val. Val showed up in those projects and in Hawkeye. So, if Hawkeye is in the same dimension as Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Val showing up in those projects could mean that they're all tied together, or she could just be a variant. But I'm rolling with the first option. But guess what? You ready? I don't think Earth 616 is the main MCU timeline. Why, you ask? This. On Earth 616, it appears Ant-Man was present for the Battle of New York. Now, unless you too are from Earth 616, that ain't the movie we saw, which means it's probable that all of the rest of the movies and series that are in Phase 4 are part of the multiverse. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what the happened in Phase 4. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But right now, this is what makes sense to me. These movies are not all parts of the same universe, and the universe that we think we're following as the main MCU is likely not the main MCU. Y'all just don't know. I've been so excited to get that off my chest. I feel so much better. Hopefully I came across coherent because I really was so excited. And while I enjoyed most of Phase 4, it was far from perfect. One of its issues was the scheduling of things. Of course, that's the universe's fault for sending us a pandemic, so I won't hold that against the creators. These next 3, I will hold against them though. In a few of our films and series, the villains were softer than creme brulee, and leading into my next complaint, the villain would have started out formidable until, would you look at the time, at which point he or she would fold like origami. The pacing was just effed up. And finally, there was some wonky writing going on in this phase. Some of the writers understood the assignment, Ryan Coogler, while others disappointed, Taika Waititi. Overall, I'm satisfied with Phase 4. Introductions were made, storylines set up, I'll be explaining which comic arc I think is being hinted at for the next saga in an episode next week. If I'm correct about Earth 616, we got some surprises, and I will be super excited if I would be right about that and about where I think our next big ensemble movie beyond the Multiverse Saga would be. As always, thanks to my channel members and patrons for your continued support. If you'd like to support the show, you can do that at patreon.com/Tasha Pierce or by clicking the join button on this video or any other ways listed in the description or the show notes wherever you're watching or listening. Check the description box for ways to reach me to let me know your thoughts on Phase 4 and what you think of my theory. And if you're watching on YouTube, Odyssey, or Facebook, hey, sound off in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more MCU theories and entertainment commentary. This has been Tasha Pierce, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.